Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikkel. So today you guys, I'm going to be talking with you guys on tarot cards and how you can cleanse them. I have my 3 top ways of how I cleanse my cards. And I'm going to be talking about the importance of cleansing your cards. So if you're a beginner, or like if you're thinking about starting tarot, or even if you already do tarot and you want a couple quick tips on cleansing when it comes to the cards, I just really wanted to give that out today. And so as you can see, I have my cards right here. This is one of the decks that I really love, that I use often. So when you're doing tarot readings, you guys, and you're shuffling your cards or whatever, every time you're using them, you're putting more energy into those cards, and eventually the energy within the cards get really heavy. So that's why it's important to just get in the habit of always cleansing your cards, either before every time you use it or after every time you use it. Not even every time, but maybe like a couple times after, because what ends up happening is the energy gets really heavy. And so what I mean by that is every time you're doing a reading, you're putting energy into the cards. Every time someone pops up in a reading, whether you ask about them or you don't ask about them, but if they just pop up in a reading, then now you got their energy into the cards. Even if you are doing readings, even if you're doing readings for other people, you guys, you're then putting other people's energy into the cards. So now you have all of this heavy energy into the cards, but you're still trying to get divine answers. And sometimes that divine connection by getting the answers sometimes can sometimes be affected because of all of the energy that's in the cards, if that makes sense. And so there is a couple of ways you can tell that your cards have too much energy. One way that you can tell that your cards have too much energy is when you're shuffling your cards. Okay, you're shuffling your cards and I don't know, you have like 20, like a whole bunch of cards just come out, just all at once. And every time you're shuffling, you're asking a question, like just a whole bunch of cards are coming out, like not one specific card. Because I'm a person, when I shuffle, I do pop outs, and so you have like a whole bunch of pop outs coming out. That's one way I can tell, like, okay, these cards need cleansing. That's one way that you can tell. Another way you can tell is sometimes it physically can affect you. I know me personally, I've been through this, so I don't know about you guys, but when I first started doing tarot, I wasn't really too keen on my cleansing with the cards, because again, I was not really privy of knowing that until like it actually happened. But I realized as I kept using the cards, obviously the energy kept getting heavier, and what would happen is I would start feeling nauseous. So every time I picked up the cards and I would ask a question from the divine, I would start feeling nauseous, like literally physically feeling nauseous, to the point where I couldn't read anymore. So it was affecting me. But then when I figured out, like, okay, I have to cleanse my cards, it immediately just went away. Like right after I cleansed those cards, like that feeling of me feeling sick, I feel like I couldn't shuffle the cards, it immediately went away. So that's another sign where you can be like, okay, these cards need cleansing. So just get into the habit of cleansing your cards, because in the end, you're trying to get these divine messages, you guys, and you don't want to get answers that aren't really accurate, because you have too much heavy energy. So even if you're not necessarily feeling anything or whatever, just make sure that you're cleansing your cards. It doesn't have to be every time, but very often. So maybe after 2 or 3 times, like, cleanse your cards. And if other people show up in a reading, or you're reading for other people, I would always just cleanse it, especially if you're like using the deck as a personal as well as just for other people. Cleanse it between people, okay? So my first way of cleansing the cards is really getting some sage. You can get sage or you can get Palo Santo, and literally you light it up. I'm not gonna light it on camera, y'all, but literally you light your sage, and I'm assuming you know how to cleanse it, and you literally just go back and side to side on each side, okay? And just state your intentions that you are cleansing these cards of any negative energy, any low vibration, and any heavy energy, okay? And you just go side to side on each like side of the cards, okay? Just like that. And then you also want to get the back and front of the cards. And as you're doing this, you want to state your intentions, okay? So that's just a quick little demo. The next method that I use to cleanse out my cards is what I'll do is if I know I'm going to ask a question, if I know I'm going to be using my cards that day, what I'll do is I'll take my clear quartz crystal. This is a really good crystal, you guys, because it's able to cleanse any spiritual tools. So it's really good for cleansing your tarot cards. So what I do is I just put intention into it, and after I put intention into it, give it a direction of what I want it to do, which is, you know, cleanse my tarot cards. I will just sit the clear quartz crystal on top of my tarot cards, and it's not really specific time, but usually anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe 2 hours. Again, it could be all day. It's just if I know I'm going to sometime in that day use the cards, then I'll end up just putting the crystal over it, okay? So that's another way. Then my last way, you guys, is very, very simple. So what I do is I get my cards and I put them in my right hand. I use my left hand and I speak over the cards. This is really quick and simple little prayer. I call upon the heavens and the universe, basically, and I ask the heavens and the universe to remove any negative energy, any low vibrations, and any heavy energy that is within these cards, okay? And I say that using my left hand because left is to remove negative energy. And just like that, the cards are cleansed. So sometimes, especially if I'm in the middle of a reading and I realize like, okay, these cards need cleansing, I'll just say that prayer right quick versus getting out my sage or whatever, and it just go away. So yeah, you guys, that's basically how I cleanse my cards and tips on how you can cleanse your cards and why it is important for you guys to cleanse your cards. So if you have any questions, you guys, leave them down below and I'll get to them. Thank you so much for supporting, and I'll talk to you guys later.